off air too.
There we go.
Oh, there it goes.
Hello! Welcome to the Young Adult at Heart book discussion. We are back!
Yay! Most of us.
Most of us, yes.
That was some shade.
Here in spirit. So this month-ish, this quarter, we're quarterly. Yes, it's all planned. We are reading, or we read, and watched, and it was horrifying. Skeleton Creek by, what's
Patrick Carman.
Patrick Carman.
It says Ryan's journal because Ryan supposedly read it or wrote it. So, that's a lie. Chanting that to myself over and over while the scary video was playing. It's fine.
You watch the videos. Shit.
You didn't watch the videos?
Okay. It happens.
Okay. The book specifically gave you directions. It's okay.
I'm also really curious how it would be without the videos, so we'll have to talk about that. Okay.
He, thumbs up at the end of it. He's all like, this is what happened, and I'm so stressed. How could she do the thing? And she's like, I'm going to email you back and do the thing. Every time. She was the best bad decision bear ever.
Truly.
Incessantly.
Kim, it's your pick, so do you want to, is there a summary of it you want to read? A little synopsis?
I even have a physical copy of the book, and I don't think there is a summary. I think it's just actually there's probably one. It's probably on Goodreads, and I can probably find it in 30 seconds.
Okay,
so
we'll get
prepared. That's me.
But so for the folks at home, who are not watching this, it's fine. But yay!
Okay. Loading. Okay. Skeleton Creek. Which I didn't realize was a series at first, which changed the entire ending of that book for me. Initially, when I first read it, I was like, oh no. But now I know it's a series, so I was a little less upset about it. But anyway, so a breakthrough new series from bestselling author Patrick Carman featuring text and technology in an innovative new way. Strange things are happening in Skeleton Creek, and Ryan and Sarah are trying to get to the heart of it. But after an eerie accident leaves Ryan housebound and forbidden to see Sarah, their investigation takes 2 tracks. Ryan records everything in his journal while Sarah uses her video cam to search things out, and then emails the clips for Ryan to see. In a new groundbreaking format, the story is broken into 2 parts. Ryan texts in the book and Sarah's videos on a special website within links and passwords given throughout the book, which are awesome. I think that's cool.
Morgan's giving me shit because I'm for not having that. I'm like, what? It doesn't specifically say go. I was like, okay, fine.
It does specifically say go every time.
And I'm like, oh, I guess that's how it ends.
Really? Oh gosh, so you don't. Okay. So spoiler alert for everybody.
They just pause and have Mylene go watch that video.
We're live. We can't pause, Mylene. We can't.
It's okay.
Well, we can say, so Mylene, what were your thoughts on the book then? Since you obviously got a very different perspective than the rest of us. What did you think about it?
This seems to be the running trend of our things. Like, oh, I didn't finish it one time. Okay, the second time, or the first time also, you couldn't hear me anyway. So this time, well, I thought that halfway through, the first thing I thought was, I don't know if Ryan's a girl or a boy. And then they finally say he, use the pronoun he halfway through. I'm like, oh, okay. But then, I don't know, I liked it. I actually thought that I write like this font. So I was like, oh my god, it's like me writing to myself. And yes, Sarah is totally bad decision bear from the get-go. But I figured something terrible was going to happen, and I didn't know if I wanted to know what it was anyway. So maybe that's why subconsciously I didn't go online and watch it.
Yes, it was terrible. Everything was awful about it.
It's fine, guys. There's
What happened?
3
Just tell me.
more.
If you
Okay.
In 6 words, describe.
Well, can I ask one more question just on your thoughts? Weren't you confused? So there'd be a video, and then Ryan's talking about what happened in the video. How did you How did you handle that? I don't.
I just assumed that I knew what he was talking about.
I'm so glad you're not my student.
From the Peanut Gallery. Oh, okay.
We did not introduce ourselves this time. We should do that. Hi, I'm Jennifer, and I am in the Midwest. I'm a librarian in the Midwest. Keep going. Take it away.
Okay, I'm Eileen, who apparently doesn't read the book ever in its entirety. I'm on the West Coast, and I have no excuse for not having finished it. So, forgive me.
I'll go next. I'm Kim. I picked the book, and no, you have no excuse because it's like 100 pages long.
Seriously, I blinked and I was done. I was like, oh, that was a quick thing.
I'm a librarian, children and teen on the East Coast in Connecticut. We've already said that in past videos.
I'm Abby, and I'm also in Connecticut, and I'm also a children's librarian. And I have a lot to say.
And you didn't like the font. I want you and Mylene to fight over this font.
I didn't like the font. I text Kim. I was like, I went, and I knew it was going to be scary, so I went to a public place. Because no one was home. I was like, if my roommates were home, maybe like it's fine. But I was like, it's going to be dark when I finish this. I need to go be around people. And I was like a crazy person watching these videos, like in public. I hated the font. 2 pages in, I text Kim like, why'd you pick this book? But I ended up really liking it because I think the videos are what makes it scary, because it's like a lot of just things jumping out at you, a lot of like weird grown-up kid power dynamics that freaked me out, and then like also, but if you don't watch the videos, it's just kind of like a regular. I think that the videos make it a teen book, and the text is very middle grade. It like it hits all my middle grade mystery buttons. It's like secret societies, all kinds of like sneaking around, like that kind of stuff that I love in a middle grade mystery. And I was like, oh, if only the videos weren't so scary, I would really like this book.
I'm trying to actively get them now. Keep talking.
Where do you guys, or what spine labels did you have on this book? I don't know if you had those books in your library, so if you had to order them, but we have it in J, and the library that I had before had it in J too.
We have it in young adult.
Jen, I'm blind. I see nothing. Do you guys know you have it in young adult? Who said that?
But our young adult starts in 6th grade, so.
Oh, okay.
You can take for that.
Ours is
a new thing.
Ours is in the catalog as teen, but it actually doesn't have a teen sticker on it, and it was mis-shelved with the adult mystery books, so I have to fix it when I return it.
Yes, please. Okay, because that is interesting. I guess the videos were the videos. I don't know. Well, see, it takes a whole lot to scare me. It takes more like psychological things than like outright like ghost stuff. Like someone's got to play with my mind, and then I'm like, I can't sleep. Like we watched The Prestige. Remember, Abby? We saw The Prestige, and I couldn't sleep. I was freaked out about top hats. So like, I was like, why are there so many top hats? I don't understand. That's what it takes to get me. So the videos weren't super, super frightening, but I definitely worried about you too when I saw the first 2 videos. I was like, Abby and Jen hate me. And then Jen said a whole bunch of like,
I lost my mind. I had to okay. So there's a lot of like, oh, it's creepy in the dark and stuff is happening. It's like a handheld camera and he's alone. And I was like, why are you going alone? Stop. Go back to your car. Go home. Put on a blanket. Like, stop. Full stop. And she really stressed me out. And so when she's out by this weird, you don't even know what it is at that point. It's just this creepy building, and there's creepy faces, and then it's a skeleton face. And all the other videos I had to watch silence background, so I visually knew what was coming, and then was allowed to watch it with noise. So I had to watch all of them. I watched all of them twice.
So Mylene didn't watch them at all, and you watched them.
Even after I was tagged in Jen's photo about how creepy it was, I'm like, this isn't creepy at all. I don't know what she's talking about.
I tagged there too.
The password is
that's our girl.
House of Usher, but the first time I read it was House of Usher.
What's a fusser?
I was like, that's not scary. Why is he Irish? House of Usher? Come on.
It's like a barrel of monkeys.
Barrel of monkeys.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry laugh this entire thing. Oh Lord.
I'm going to watch it now. Speak.
All right, you can go ahead and watch those. I got nothing. As far as like official actual questions, I just enjoyed the fact that this was a book that intermingled like, traditional story with like tech, because like tech's a really big thing with kids. And so I was like, oh, and I've been able to sell this book on that. Like I've been like, hey, like there are these websites you go and there are these videos, these secret passwords and blah blah blah. And the kids are like, what? So I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on that concept.
I am an adult woman and I like having a secret password. I was like, yeah, sign me up. I'm like in the know. I have the password. I have the power. These are super secret videos and I get to watch them. And I just got a smartphone recently, so it's like, and I can watch them in public on my phone. And, like, nobody knows that I'm in on this secret story right now. It, like, added a layer to me.
Which is why you are 1000% my favorite. That you're like the young investigative detective on the go, reading her clues, decoding stuff.
I'm taking an improv class on character, and last week we had to do, like, a character that we stayed in for a million years, and I did, like, a teen detective. It's, like, my favorite trope.
Yay!
Mylene's totally not watching the video right now, you guys.
It's fine. Watch the video. Do the thing. We won't be mad. Except that I'll be mad if I have to hear the creepy noises. I will, in fact, be mad. Because the creepy noises. Sound design. Look at it! It's all shaky! And I'm like, go home! You're gonna break your ankle and then die because the ghost is gonna kill you because clearly there's a ghost. So stop.
This reminds me of what I look like when I'm hiking in the daylight. I'm like, oh, look, it's a branch. And there's a house there. How did the house get there? I was never looking up.
You will also die in the beginning of the horror movie, Mylene, if this is how you interact with your hiking environment.
Can we talk a little bit about the production design on the videos of her in her bedroom?
I loved her bedroom. I thought it was... Go ahead.
She had a square plastic dish of Good and Plenty's. What teenager eats Good and Plenty's at their desk?
They went down, too. She was eating them. It was empty in some of the scenes.
It did. Yeah.
And also, her parents are like, you can't see Ryan. She has a whole serial killer board on the back wall with, like, the yarn goes to the different pictures. I'm like, girlfriend, she's like, delete your emails. It's like, don't print out the pictures and be, like, doodling on them on the wall.
I'm sorry. His family couldn't figure any of this out, and he's using a freaking printer? Like, he's printing all of this stuff that he's sending, and none of his family were like, why is he using the printer at midnight? Like, what is he printing out? That is so, like, is it fan fiction? Like, what is he doing? Like, what fiction. That's what I did late at night when I was a teenager.
Me too. It's printing fan fiction.
Morgan, who was our guest star for the evening.
Gundam fan fiction.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yes, but, like, what is he, like, I feel like if my kid was in lockdown, like, super in trouble, I'd be like, printer noises? Hark! What's going on?
Yeah, but you're not...
Dot Matrix.
Also, I'm sorry, but Dad was the worst Secret Society member ever. He's out of this drawer. That's where all my stuff is.
The guy from New York is definitely somehow was a villain and is trying to make up for it somehow. That's the vibe I got from him. He's like, I was part of the evil company. I'm your friend now. Like,
Well,
Something shady going on there.
they had a little bit about that, because what was he, like in his 20s or something, and they were like cutting down trees, like deforestation, like doing all this awful stuff, and he was like, whatever, I got my money. But like then he said they like crossed the line. So I don't know if crossing the line was it like dude dying, or if there was more to it. Now that I know that there are 3 more books, like I'm really upset that I don't know what's going on. Like I'm really bothered, and I feel like I need to read that.
Okay,
Now I have to read the more books because I need to know what's going on.
I will ask you to sum up. I'm going to ask you to read them, and then I would like a report on these books. I am done. This check is cashed and paid in full. Done. But I will. The cliffhanger at the end of this book is the nastiest. So, Mylene, get to the end of this right now. They are locked in a secret passage underneath the big cranky business. That, and it's not like, oh, it might not be a ghost. There's like swooping and skeleton breathing from like close breathing. You can smell the garlic. Like not
Great mask work.
And so like,
Yes.
and they're just like, oh, we're here. We're gonna die. Please help us. End of scene.
Well, what makes it even scarier is that, like, so she had set it up so that it would be, like, live broadcasted, so that if something did happen and, like, the video would go out to, like, you know, X, Y, and Z, and then they would see the video and they would come and get them. So you're like, oh, okay. And I also was a little irritated. I'm like, dude, you've got a full leg cast. Like, what are you doing? But, like, aside from that, I was like, you gotta calm down. But, like, aside from that, so, like, they go and they're down there and the skeleton does this, like, weird, like, thing, and it was really terrifying, and you're like, wow. And then they're down there and he closes the door and they're like, if you're watching this, help us. And then the camera battery dies because of course she didn't charge her camera battery before she went on this adventure. And then like you just see like static, and then it says something like video erased or like broadcast. Like, so basically this live broadcast has now been shut down by
the broadcast ended, but it was uploading to the site so that someone could access it after the fact. I don't know about technology. It seems a little far-fetched to me, but
well, as to who did it, that's weird.
We're accessing it. Like, we have the record, and so whoever was supposed to get it, you assume got it as well. I was also like, her technology from like 2000, what was it? It's like 2009 or something. It's like the camera is like duct taped to the back of a laptop, and like I was like, what is like? That's what she's showing at the end of it, and I'm just like,
oh god.
Like, what is happening here? How are you doing that?
Yeah, it is 2009. I was like, when was this? Did you watch the video yet?
I just watched the first one, and it kind of looked like what you would imagine if you had come upon Kevin McAllister in his Home Alone, where like there's like a swooping thing in one window, which obviously is the shadow of like a puppet or something in the background. So besides the fact that it's dark, I don't think I would have been scared. I'm like, oh, look. And I was
why you are dead? Because you did not run quickly enough in an appropriate amount of time.
The physical aspect, a ghost on the second floor, I don't think that anything physical would have stopped him from killing me. She had a second video. He wasn't going to kill you, or he wasn't fast enough, or whatever.
But I'm sorry. So like they're just like, well, he pushed that guy down. Like the kid like fell and broke his leg, like because of the ghost. Like that's the thing.
I wish that video had happened first, because it explained so much more.
It did. I think it was the mystery factor.
Full details to like kind of extend the story, but I needed the details in order to get into it. And once I had them, then I was like in it. But until that second video where you kind of see what was going on that night that he hurt himself, I was like, I'm so confused. I'm missing the whole beginning of the story.
I can see that.
He was like vague blogging about it. Like it was just like, this is a not specific Facebook post about this person that hurt my feelings, and you're like, what? Why? What? Who? Me? Is it me? Like that's like the impulse that I got from the whole beginning of it, which kind of like, it feels like he's like, I liked that it was a diary and that he was like purging himself of it. But yeah, the printing all of the things for the record keeping was a little strange, and also he like his reasons for doing that were like straight up old man. Like he was just like, paper in the digital age. And I was like, how old are we? Like, what is, no. Like, if you're keeping a record for this terribleness, like, keep a record for this terribleness and let that be the reason for, like, if I die, or if she's dead and I don't know. Like, that also was very odd to me, where they, like, threw that in there. It's like, is she dead? Am I dead? I don't know what's going on. And I was like, we're having, like, a crisis right now. And I want to know about the ghost. Can we hold your crisis? A lot of feelings that I sent Kim a lot of dinosaur stickers, making my clear while I was processing this book. So that is what happened.
How did we feel about the grown-ups in the story?
I think they did a typical grown-up thing. Except for the New York guy. Like, man, I hope he's in the book more next, because, like, I feel like there's more to know there. The dad, I was like, Dad, you're kind of annoying. The librarian with the shotgun was pretty amazing. Not gonna lie, I appreciated that. Go ahead, Jen. Go ahead. Do you have things to say about
the archive where she's like, here's the local history in a crate with
Here's a milk crate.
Like, who are you, librarian? No.
Amazing.
I mean,
it's all a bad name. What organization, like, if these are precious only copy archives of the newspaper, you need to put them in some kind of folder. Like, at least those little, like, binder things. Like, ugh. She stressed me out. She stressed me out.
Definitely, and I was thinking about that as a bunch of librarians are reading this book, and there's this crazy librarian that's doing everything wrong. I was like, everyone's having a panic attack. I was like, everybody's bugging out. But I felt like she wasn't in the story for very long, but you got a very in-depth idea of who this woman was. Like, she definitely became a librarian sometime, like, around Prohibition. You know, like, something just, like, it's just, that's how I feel. I don't know. She was like a rum runner or something and was like, well, I need to go straight and narrow. Let's just do this. Just throw these. Blah, blah, blah. Like, that's how I felt about it. And I was like, you're great. I enjoy you.
Okay, if anybody is ever listening to this, Rum Runner Librarian is an excellent Tumblr account, and you should totally use it.
Can we replace the, like, sexy librarian stereotype with a rum runner stereotype?
Bootlegging librarians, done. Bathtub running stuff up, yes.
All right, guys, Halloween. All of us. Go big or go home.
Do it. I really had, like, gross feelings about the park ranger. He was so creepy, and, like, it might just be because we're all grown-ups who work with kids, but I was like, she has you on video being like, turn the camera off. It's like, no. That's like when you're, like, having a meeting with a kid and you're like, you leave the door open. Like, teachers leave the door open. You don't meet one-on-one with a kid and, like, not have any witnesses or people around or whatever. Like, yeah, keep recording so you can see that I'm being, like, a normal person here. Like, turn the camera off, Sarah.
I thought that the injection of he looks like, what's his name, the guy the presumed the Joe.
I just kept calling him Jeb
Bush.
Bush.
Jeb Bush. So the presumed Jeb Bush, like, they were all like, suddenly they were like, he looks just like him, and I was like, wait, what? Because you didn't see the picture originally, and then they waited and finally showed you clearly the same actor dressed in old-timey.
It seemed like a red herring. I hope it comes back, because otherwise it's like...
Why?
Joe. It's Joe Bush, not Jeb.
I know.
No, I wasn't. And
Jeb
then I was
Bush.
like, is his name Josh? Like, then I was trying to figure out what his real name was. We can still call him Jeb. It's fine. I'm almost positive. I have to finish reading this book I'm reading right now, but I'm almost positive that all of these characters are coming back. In particular, dude from New York and the ranger that happened to show up at just the right times when, you know, these kids started breaking into this place, like, little fishy. And he's probably like his, like, brother, cousin, or something of, like, the dead guy, and, like, wants all the gold. And wait, I can't remember. Was his name one of the names that they found in the on the names in that like secret little trap doorway? I don't remember.
I couldn't keep track of all of that. I think it was.
It was kind of an info dump, and they didn't have like a paper version of it recorded, so you couldn't reference it. You just kind of had to like try and.
Were there details of the people on the dad's little thing? I'm gonna look.
Oh,
it was
I don't know.
it was the locations, but I don't know if it was the. I like a secret code language.
Yeah.
Me, love it. Love a symbol.
The little birdie. It was great. And I did notice, yeah, she had like the little birdie taped up on her wall, and it was like, your parents are gonna come in and say goodnight, and they're gonna see this. You'd be grounded for life. But clearly they didn't care because her parents were nowhere. They should have made a surprise appearance or something. I really would have appreciated seeing that.
He called her mom. I was like,
oh yeah.
Just checking in on Sarah. Nothing weird about that. I just wanted to call your mom and find out how she's doing. Sneaky. He's not very sneaky. I can't find this page, and it's driving me
But you know what? I think the fact that he wasn't sneaky was one of the things that I liked about him, because he was a weenie, like for lack of a better term. He was a weenie. He was a scaredy cat. You don't see a lot of male characters like that. Or if you do, they're like a weenie, but they're trying to fight it. He doesn't even care. He's like, I'm scared of everything. I'm scared of my own shadow. I'm scared of this cast on my leg. I'm scared of all the things in all the world. It's fine because I'm just scared. And I like that.
Actually,
I'm on the third video, and I don't like her already.
See, I think that they picked. I feel like the writing for her part was weaker than the writing for the journal. I feel like the writing for the journal was like very thought out and very like the prose was put together. Whereas the dialogue for her, I wasn't sure whether she was talking. Maybe it's because there's so many more like YouTube stars that we're used to that like conversational. I'm editing. Like I feel like she should have been better at it if this is what she was doing. But she'd be like, I'm musing about the thing, and I'm having a revelation, and then cut to canned video, and I'd be like, what are you doing? What is this like? Are you really making this discovery now? Or like, it seemed very like jagged, her pieces.
I was telling Kim, I thought that she reminded me of what's her name? I think it's Lydia or something from the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, but like low budget, like way low budget. But, like, the actress had similar, and then I was just like, wait, now I just want it to be that girl, because she's so charming and good.
I shouldn't say this. Never mind. She looks like someone I know, like, personally.
Oh.
Just in case she happens to be watching this ever, I don't want to talk about her, but yeah. I kind of want her to die.
I can hear you watching these videos, and I love it. So all right. Oh, and we've got a whole bunch of librarians reading this, and then you've got a bunch of theater people watching it, and yeah, like it's clearly Patrick Carman is not a script writer. Like clearly he's not entirely sure how that whole like performance thing goes. Like it's one thing to write a book, but then to like write dialogue and find someone who can read it in a way that doesn't feel like you like were walking down the street and you're in the grocery store and saw this girl and was like, hey, you kind of fit my idea of this thing. Can you read this stuff? And she's like, sure.
I'm gonna look the actress up.
Can you do that? Would she have an IMDb page? Is that a thing? I don't know.
Maybe.
Mylene, did you like Sarah before you watched these videos, or did you have any thoughts about her one way or the other? Because your entire opinion of everything must be changing now that you're actually catching up and watching things.
You're right. I don't see her as the kind of person who, well, based on the videos, before I watched them, I thought she was much more convincing, right? Like he says, she can convince anyone to do anything. This girl, I'd be like, no. Well, at least I would. But then I can imagine if Ryan, the character, didn't have any other friends, and I think the whole book just showed me that the last thing he wanted to be was boring. So essentially, he would have done anything with anyone who wasn't boring, and she was the only one willing to give him a shot, I guess. I don't know. But she's not that convincing as a character to get me to go and, like, re-break my leg, So, I don't know.
Her only other IMDb credit is as school kid in Napoleon Dynamite. So I'm obsessed with this girl's story. I need to find out everything about her.
She must be kind of older then, because in the point time it happened, what, 10 years ago now?
2004, I think.
I don't know. I wound up having to watch that in school. I don't know why. And I was mad about it. I was bored. I think I was reading. I was like, I don't care. Laylene, you got to get to the video where both Sarah and Ryan are in it. Man, I was so disappointed. I was like, that was the poorest video of the bunch.
Last one. That's very last one.
Yeah, it's the very last one where Ryan comes and they're like talking to each other, and I was like, you sound like perfect strangers. Like, I'm not about this life. I felt so uncomfortable. I think I closed my eyes. Like, I think I like couldn't watch them because I was so uncomfortable. I was like, this is not working for me. It's not. Is it just me? Am I a theater snob?
No,
I don't think I am.
I couldn't tell if they were stiff actors or if they were being like awkward teens. I couldn't tell.
I think they were going for awkward teens and like crashing and burning, like what's his face in Newsies, Jen. Christian Bale, he tried so hard.
At one point, he's like, this is like, everybody else is like springing around. He does this like noodly thing, and I'm like, it's the first dance number in like the second scene of the movie. So if you need to rewatch the noodle like that, it's like 2 seconds long, but it's perfect. Yeah, he's just no, it's not a twirl. But yeah, that's a very good comparison for the acting for this, because yeah, they're supposed to be so intimate. Like the two of them can't be kept apart, not just because of this secret, but like they're so locked in that it really should have been like a nice moment for them to get to see each other, and they're both just like, hug. It's a total natural hug, and like, that is not. What do I do with my hands? Like,
I had started picturing Ryan as Michael Cera in Arrested Development, like early Arrested Development. And then he was like a tall, like kind of jockey-looking kid in the video, at least shape-wise, and I was like,
I'm just gonna cry.
I'm waiting. It's gonna happen. It's happening.
That's the thing is, like, with Ryan, like, you see Sarah early on enough.
Is this kid getting anywhere? Crutch.
Is that the last video?
Yeah.
Keep going. Just keep it going. You keep watching.
You see Sarah so early on that you don't have time to form, like, your own picture of her, but then, like, to see Ryan at the end was so jarring for me because I had developed a picture.
Well, go ahead.
I feel like it would have been stronger for them to be video chatting back and forth and like sending stuff. Like, do you know what I mean? If it could have been like what they were doing. I mean, and it would have been easier to do now because of cell phones, so that you could have like had a reason for, as soon as he gets his cell phone back, he can send her the video. And Nothing's got really scary. Don't you think? Yeah, he didn't work for me. He just didn't.
I'm enjoying re-listening to this and just watching Miley's face the entire time.
I'm waiting for them to kiss, like in his dream.
I was actually really disappointed by like how they like their interaction felt quasi-romantic.
Yeah.
At the end, but like in the book, they're just bros. Like they're just best friends, and I really was so excited to have that be the relationship of these characters, and then at the end it was like her hug was just so awkward, and I was like, no, is there tension? I don't want there to be tension.
Is that, do you think, trying to keep it more on the middle grade side of things? Then if you have like two clear teenagers like having a romantic storyline, not just in a book but also in a video, somehow seeing it is like, I don't know, you know what I mean? If it keeps it more middle grade to have them be like strictly platonic. Because this book really does kind of straddle.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that the videos kind of elevate it into YA or but young. I would have a tough time getting a high schooler, like an upper level high schooler. It's like lower. It's a middle grade work, but the but the content is kind of verging into upper grade, but it never quite breaks through. Like, I feel like 8th grade would be a great time to read this, maybe 7th.
Yeah, or it's like also a really good reluctant reader book because it's like you get to watch half of it and they're like, great, I'm taking it, I'm good. So even if someone's like 8th or 9th grade and maybe like they're not the best reader in the world, that like the action and everything like happens so quickly and because there are videos and like it's handwritten, so it's not as long as it looks. Like it definitely has a lot of like the earmarks to be like a upper middle grade / like maybe reluctant reader 9th grade book, and that's kind of how I sell it to a lot of kids.
I feel like this would actually be a really I think somebody did I think I was reading somebody's review on Goodreads when they were talking about this, that they talked about reading it aloud to a classroom and then watching the first video. Was that on? I feel like which I was like, what a cool library program would that be to start to read a little bit, like maybe in like September or something, and like edge into October and read a little, like have enough copies that they can blow through it on their own, but then read and watch a couple of the videos together. I thought that would be super cool. But the ebook was not well formatted. Like you lose Abby didn't like the font, but you like lose the fact that it's a journal. Like it doesn't read as a journal. I think probably because like a good ebook version of it would have reformatted it as a blog. I think it would have worked really well as a blog if he was on his computer the whole time and logging. I think that would have made more sense because then he could have uploaded the pictures for him to have later.
Yeah.
Quieter than a freaking printer. But it was my central rage aside. I just thought it would be a cool program to like get kids hooked on the book by reading them that first chunk and watching that first video. But I had to read it. See, I knew that I was missing the videos because Kim had pumped them up so much. So I was just like, so I got to the first video and I was like, I want to read more and I can't because I feel like I have to wait until I can be watching the video.
Do they have like a link in the ebook?
No.
I was really disappointed.
Yeah, because I read the book, because I read this for like a class, like a library class, and so I read the book, and so I had like the handwritten, the journal, and the second time the book's checked out at my library to one of my book club kids, so I got it on ebook, and I was prepared to I was like, oh, this will be great, I'll just like hit the button and it'll take me to the wah wah. Not true. I had to like exit out of the book, like open up, like I was on my e-reader, so it was fine, but like open up the thing, remember the password and all that jazz. So it was kind of a pain.
You're not easy to remember like the spelling of them. Like I was so much had the book, so I could be like, how do you like the? I like mistyped them, and I was like, no, a couple times. I was doing it. It was not cute. It was not good. But the like
O'Fusher and PETA Pendulum.
Wait, what?
House O'Fusher, PETA Pendulum. Like a PETA pendulum.
Oh
like
God!
PETAs next to each other.
Oh God! The way you see things is incredibly enlightening.
I thought that the literary passwords were a little on the nose, kind of fake highbrow in a way that I didn't appreciate.
Like, yeah, I feel like it would have been more believable if they were like, what in the world, or like you have to watch this, like with a 2. Like, I feel like a password, like if she was password protecting it, it would have been like their names to begin with, and then like Skeleton, like Skeleton Creek, and then this like the secret society name, like she would have. I feel like is like a. I didn't think they were a little heavy-handed, and his digestion of them was a little heavy-handed, where he was like, I don't know why she's doing this, and it was like, well, we don't either, so okay. Like
his stream of consciousness got a little grating, and like when he's sneaking into his dad's underwear drawer and he's like, I'm writing while I'm doing this, I'm like, wait and write about it after. What is wrong with you? You're the worst sneak ever.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, I'm trembling as I write this on standing, and it's like, doesn't your leg hurt? Like, why on earth are you writing? And like standing, like it's just that, yeah, it got very, which I think actually would have been a great time to introduce him as a video thing. If he had like a webcam on a laptop, would have been perfect.
Yeah.
For like, well, come in with me while I do this. If I'm going to be in trouble for going through Dad's drawer, I might as well get in trouble for video chatting with you, you know?
Yeah, I think that was my biggest, aside from like, that was my biggest writing Ryan downfall. Like, because I really did enjoy him as a character, because I really did enjoy, I mean, like, he did get a little monotonous, and I was like, all right, Ryan, like, get over yourself. He was like, did my parents come in my room? Did they blah, blah, blah? Where's my book? Blah, blah, blah. Oh my God, I woke up, my book's on my lap. What does that mean? And I'm like, Ryan, like, you gotta chill. Like, they would have if they had caught you, you'd know. But when he was standing, so he's got, like, a giant leg cast, theoretically a crutch, a pencil, the book, and he's like going through his drawer. And I'm like, but with what extra arm? With what extra arm are you doing that? And I was like, I don't, like, you're failing me, Ryan. You're failing me. And like, that was my biggest.
Visually, that was the same thing, except I read that he had put the book down on the table and was like taking a minute to be like, I'm going to pause while I'm sifting through this stuff and write on the table, and then put my pencil down and look through a little bit, and then pick it up and write a little bit more, and I'm going to just hyperventilate while I write. Like it was very strange. It was just, that was a very odd thing. And actually, I feel kind of, we're like pulling this book apart, but it was really readable. Like, it pulled you through the whole rest with all of its, like...
My favorite passage was when he was wondering if his parents had come in, and he was like, if I woke up in the middle of the night, would I know if anyone was in my room? That was almost scarier to me than, like, the ghost, where he's like, someone could be in my room and it's just pitch dark and I can't see them, and if I say hello, they might not answer me even if they're there. And, like, that got me, like, super wigged. I was like, you're right, you might not be able to tell if someone's in your room.
That made me wonder.
Those are the mind games. That's what I'm saying. That's the stuff that's gonna get me, not the little videos. Sorry, go Miley.
And I was wondering, how large of a room do you have that even in the dark you can't tell if someone's in there? I mean, so I saw the video of her room. It's pretty big, I get it, but not dark enough, big dark, that, like, if someone's creeping in the corner, I'm not gonna. No.
Well,
right?
he can't like move. Like, when he's doing that, he's still got the big cast on, right? So, like, when you're in, like, when it's your whole leg like that, I feel like as opposed to like being on your side and being able to rotate, I feel like he would have been, I don't know, is he on pain medication? Like, is this like a drugged up teenager also, like, as a side? Because, like,
true.
That's like, he was like tripping for most of
it. He did say at the beginning that he was like coming out of being in the hospital, so it could be.
And the second to last part before he goes to meet her, the entry is, did I dream all of this? Is she really gone already? I'm like, wait, are you on drugs? Have you been on drugs this whole time? That's
like, you're having a bad reaction, friend. Like, you need to go get an adult and be like, is this real life? What is happening? Like,
did secretly, like, she die in this whole thing, and no, so having not watched the videos, if she had died, and then, like, he's in that last entry went, holy shit, it's coming back to me. I fell, but it's because she fell. This dream that I'm having, that she tried to kiss me, and then I fell on top of her, where she's really dead. Like, I thought that's what was going to happen in the end. I was like,
what? 2 seconds I did too, but then I remembered him calling the parents' house, and it wasn't vague. Like, it was very explicitly, like, she's in her room, don't call. It wasn't like...
That was all like a fever dream.
Appropriate. Oh, you think he would have, like, hallucinated that too?
Yeah. So the whole thing could have been like a whole fever dream. But now I watched the video.
I think you should write that. I think that should be its own book, Mylene. I think it could be very Bridge to Terabithia, very, like, angst-ridden, and I think you should just do it and make sure that in the thanks you thank the young adult, whatever. We can go at heart. I was like, what's our name? Young adult at heart.
Oxycontin AU.
Speaking of
this is great. I'm loving this, and I'm drinking. I'm the only one. I'm such an alcoholic.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
All the wine with my pasta dinner, so I am back to water.
That might be smart.
I'm just lame.
You are just lame. But no, yeah. So like, aside from we were definitely ripping this book to pieces, which I kind of was prepared for, and I enjoy. Like sometimes I enjoy like demolishing a book in like a lovely sort of way. Like it was a good book, and I think it's a good concept. Like I know the concept might not be for everybody, but I think it is a very good concept, and I'm kind of shocked that there aren't more books like this. Like this was in 2009. Like it's what 2016 now. I almost said 2015. Like I would feel like there would be something sort of.
I think they evolved. I think this kind of premise evolved into the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. Like I think
I love them.
That like vlog adaptation of classic work that like plays on nostalgia, and like I think that's kind of where this evolved to. I think that like I think it worked. It really like having a horror spin on it is really cool though. Like I wish that they had done they did more like suspense and mystery stuff with it, because it would be super cool.
Yeah.
Actually, going to what you guys were saying about the passwords being like very literary, I don't think a 6th or 7th grader would understand any of them.
No.
Maybe a Telltale Heart one or the Raven, maybe the Raven, but none of the rest of them.
No.
Maybe like it would be a cool thing for a teacher to do, like in combination with a poetry thing, like to do like a couple Edgar Allan Poe things, or do you mean like to do it along with that author? But it doesn't carry that through either. Like yeah.
Yeah, it switches to like Jekyll and Hyde, and it's like one thing if it's like a through line of like one author, like if Sarah was really into Poe or whatever, like that would make sense on like a character level, but that it popped around is kind of what I didn't like about it.
Agree.
Yeah, and I think like I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to find like creepy titles to keep in with whatever was going on at the time. So like, because like Ryan was doing all this reacting to them. So like, it's like House of Usher, and he's like blah 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 blah, and then it's the Raven, and he's like, why is she doing this? And it's Jekyll and Hyde, and it's like, oh my God, who's Jekyll? Who's Hyde? Am I Jekyll and she's Hyde? Is my dad Jekyll and Hyde? And I think they tried, but it was kind of like a half-hearted attempt. Like he was like, I'm gonna come up with this classy thing, and then say a thing, and then be done.
It felt really forced. Like that part of it felt just kind of injected in there for like the passwords and stuff. Like they hadn't almost like it was an overlay. Like they wrote the book and then had to put the parts about the passwords in there on top of it. Like it wasn't necessarily for the entire. Like it wasn't there in the original working through, and maybe it was. Maybe it was the original intent, and then the rest of the story got overlaid on top of it. So who knows?
I want so much more Secret Society and like finding out about the grown-ups and finding out about the weird like particulars of like the corporation that's involved, that I probably am going to keep reading the series just because like I want more of that. But also it kind of had like a little bit of a National Treasure vibe. Like there's things around town, there's stuff like this, and like that's another thing that I really respond to, that kind of adventure story. And I almost wish that it was not supernatural, that it was
like a Scooby thing. It was like crazy kids
just trying to find out there's some mystery going on in this town, and that can be enough. And if you think that it's a ghost at first and then you realize that it's something different, it's about this company bleeding the town, it's about their parents all being involved in something weird and creepy, and like that to me is a lot more interesting than like this dead guy is locking us in a room.
Well, so Mylene, you've seen the last video now, right?
I have a minute of it to go, but
okay. Well, we already told you. So the dead guy locks them in the room. So like, I need to read the second book, because how did they get out? Like, how did they get out of this room? Like, what? Because like, so the way that I caught the video part.
I cannot believe that you didn't check that there was a second book before talking about this.
Because sorry. Well, because like I said, when I read the book, I read this book like 4 years ago. It's for like some library class. It was like, selections and acquisitions for, middle grade. But whatever it was. And we had to read like 47 books the entire semester. So I was just plowing through them. And this was just one of those books. So I didn't have time because I had like another like 40 books to read. So the way that I saw it, and I was like, oh, they're dead, like that. So I'm thinking that it just ends, and they've just like they're gonna sit down there and they're gonna die, and like that's what I thought. I was like, oh, sucks for them. Next book, and like I was moving on, but so I know that's so awful.
Well, no, I agree with that idea because if I didn't watch it, right, I would have just assumed, well, it ends here, so clearly they're dead.
Right.
And I would have been like, okay, that's a good
So you guys have assumed that like they were just like Hamlet all over that, like all of the characters are dead, like Laertes is the like that's it, that's the whole thing. No, we love Marlene.
Yeah, it's oh no, Mylene, come back. Oh no, crummy internet.
She'll finish the video and do the thing.
Oh, I'm sure she'll probably pop back in, won't she? I did last time.
I'm gonna send her another invite just in case.
Okay. Banging. Ouch.
I wonder if I can read the next two books without the videos, or if, since I know that there are videos, it would drive me bonkers.
It drive me bonkers, so I don't.
Probably. I mean, just go ahead and watch. I get they are a little scary. They were very like Blair Witch Project to me, which was, and even as a small child. Oh, here she is.
Hooray!
Yay! You're back.
Hooray!
We missed you and your flower crown.
Which is adorable.
But yeah, definitely read the books. But so like the way that I read the book, or the way that I watched that last video, I thought that she'd set up the video. It wasn't broadcasting live right then, like it was going to broadcast live. She didn't like enter some password by some time. That's how I caught it. And then it would go to like the police chief and her dad's phone and her like whatever. So when you're watching it and then like the feed is disabled, or I think it says feed disabled, I don't know. I'm like, oh no, nobody's ever going to see it and they're not going to know where they are. And even if they assume they're at the dredge, they're not going to be able to find the seat. Like I had all these thoughts, and so that's why I thought they were dead.
I read it as like when we're done with this and it like our little live button goes away and it's off, and then that would be uploaded. Just that because the camera died, the broadcast ended. But not that it was not still uploaded.
Right, maybe. And I'm pretty sure that was a video, so I'd have to rewatch the video.
But we also knew going into that there were, like, I looked it up on Goodreads and saw that it was book Skeleton Creek 1. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. So I went into this knowing that there were second books. I didn't know how mean the cliffhanger was, but now I will tell all the children that just get the second book and have it with you. It's a book.
Like, yell at Patrick Carman on Twitter. I didn't do it. I completely forgot. I was like, oh, we can talk about how they've integrated technology with literature and blah, blah, blah. And that's like, because that's all I really remembered. I knew it was some, like, ghost story. There's some kids, but I was really focusing on the, like, book and tech. And then I'm rereading it, and I was like, oh, no. It's like, Abby and Jenny would be so mad. Oh no! But it was like too late. What were you gonna do?
Mylene, did you like that's it's like clearly a ghost, right? Like at the end, now that you've seen it, like that is clearly spooky supernaturals. Like that is not old man Jenkins. Like it's not him. Like he is a real ghost. Thank you, Abby, for your creepy ghost.
My math work.
Beautiful.
It's great.
Thank you, Westcon Dramatics.
I have a theater degree.
Right, putting it to use.
But what did you think now that you have at least you have the beginning and the end video for it? What were your thoughts?
I specifically remember now the entry where he said, "Oh, it's so great that they have cell towers up there." Because the whole time I'm thinking, bullshit, this is not going to be up there. There's no way they could be taping or the feed. But I think it's interesting. Two things while I was watching it. I think it's interesting that he seems to be incapable of actually using this machine. Like at one point, she goes ahead in this video, and then he's like trying to he pans up to focus on I'm assuming a window because he inevitably gets the window. But in that 34 seconds or whatever, she could have just died. And then she comes back there. But the whole time he's just like, wait, how does that figuring out.
Like, wouldn't you, like you're driving, like, go over that in the car, like, prepare. Like, be like, this is the power button, this is the, this is how you, like, focus on me so I don't die. Or at least if I die, it gets caught on camera. Like.
And then towards the end, before like the crazy skeleton thing happens, where it's taking them like 2 minutes to uncover these names because they're taking turns holding the camera. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm just like, but okay. I think it's a good cliffhanger for what it is.
Yeah.
It gets you because you still don't know. Like, you're just, okay, they're stuck in there, but
I thought they were dead. I'm telling you, the first time I read it, I was like, oh, well, they're gone. They're gone. They're gonna starve to death down there, and like one's gonna resort to cannibalism. Like,
I wouldn't end a book like that.
Like, the end of that?
You know, like Ellen Hopkins. Ellen Hopkins would end a book like that because nothing ends happily in her books.
I don't read books like that. I read happy books.
Happy books and wacky murder mysteries.
About like 9-year-old Hammond.
Yeah, I'm reading Flavia Deleuze. In the 7th book, they tell you that she pronounces it Flavia. What the F? I can't deal with that. Alan Bradley. Get it together.
For 7 years, people were asking him. Finally, he's like, okay, and then he just went ahead.
He's like, it rhymes with brave and grave, and I'm like, is that how British people pronounce Flavia?
Flavia.
Can't.
Yeah.
Unless it rhymes with brav and grav.
Grav.
Gravia. Bravia. Brava.
Oh, God.
Now that I've derailed.
Final thoughts on the book. Did you enjoy it? Would you recommend it to kids? Will you read the next book?
Yes.
I will recommend it. I will expect a report back on the sequel because it's not happening, friends.
Is it because you were scared, or is it because you didn't like it enough? Or both?
Both. Definitely both. Like, I didn't like the jumps were too much for me. And also because it was extended, like, I didn't have power over when I got to watch it. I had to watch it to continue the narrative, and that was really frustrating to have to stop and watch a thing, because I would get immersed in the story and then get pulled out of it to watch the video, and then be like, but I don't want to watch the video. The video's scary, and like, so like, there was anxiety, and then like, whereas if I was just reading the scary part, I would have been fine. So. But I think I'm glad that I read it because I'll definitely recommend it to kids. So.
I liked it. I liked that it was a quick read, so definitely for younger readers. I don't know if the fact that it incorporates technology is an aspect I like about it, because I don't know of a lot of parents who necessarily would be like, okay, let's all just watch this on their phone now, because I can see this as something like a parent, like you said, like a teacher could read out loud. And I don't know if the quality of the videos would be something like I would let my kids, or tell a parent with a child who's like in 4th grade, per se, to watch, because it might freak them out. I will read the second one just because I always give it the second one just to see. But I don't know. I liked it, which is a yay.
Yay!
But unlike you, I actually liked the font. I don't know.
Poor Abby.
I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I went into it, I try not to do this, but I went into it really not expecting to like it, and there was so much of stuff that I usually like in other books too, so I really latched onto that. I would recommend it to kids that I knew liked scary things. When I was working at the Y, like, my whole classroom of like 2nd and 3rd graders were super into like scary stories to tell in the dark and stuff like that. And they're young, but they're all really into it. And like, I know the parents and I know them and stuff like that. So if I were in a situation like that where I'm like, I have a kid that I know likes horror that is looking for something to read, I would recommend it. But I wouldn't just recommend it to anybody. And I will probably read the next book because I need to know about the secret society stuff. So I'll find out. I might read a summary or like a Wikipedia before I read the book, so that the videos aren't so scary.
No, just watch them without the sound. That is the way to do it. Watch them without the sound and then add the sound back in. It's the sound that makes things scary.
I don't think so because it's the visual of the skeleton guy was scary.
No, but he's not if you pull, I promise, he's not if you pull away the sound because you're just like, oh, it's a thing, and he moves. Like, it's not, it's the sound. It's the sound.
I think it's not the sound.
No.
I was actually not watching them and just listening to them.
What?
I was doing the opposite, where I had my phone and I had my headphones in, and I was just, like, not looking at the video. I was, like, looking around and listening.
You guys are killing me. You guys are killing me.
Who's laughing?
Oh, God. It's so funny. I don't even know. I'm like, I'm so scared of the skeleton. Oh, no. It's great. But it's fine. Like, what can I say? I was petrified of top hats. Like, I
Was that Morgan laughing at us because she's like, you guys are
No.
wimps because I watch so many horror movies?
She's not even in
that
the
it's-
room. So if she's
Okay.
laughing, it's the scary ghost type of laugh because she's not here.
Phantom laughter. He's gonna kill us all.
Oh, no.
I thought that
Yeah.
the ghost face was like so comical, actually. I was like, oh, it's a comical ghost face.
I thought it was like one of those like scary heads where like when you turn the thing on, like the lights and like the mouth glow. Like that's exactly what. And I thought there was like someone in all black holding it up in the window, like some weird version of Avenue Q. Like that's what I was seeing. I was like, you know, it's like it sucks to be you. Woo! Like that's exactly what I thought. That's what I saw. It's great.
All right. Well, I'm going to close out our session now. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, ladies, for doing this. I enjoy all of these, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye from the Young Adult at Heart Book Club.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.